And then in the fourth, it'd be Romeo and Juliet. So if you have those supplies with you every day, you can participate in English. No need to worry about makeup work or missing work because you have everything you need. If you, for some reason, don't have a supply and you can't figure out a solution by the end of the due now, like you're not ready, you can't go on with the work, I'm just going to ask you to go to the off teacher's room and waste your time in there, and I'll call and let your parent know that you have a 0 on the assignment for the day and that there is no way to make it up at that point. So, staying, I know in the past, maybe if you didn't get your classwork done, you could stay for detention and, that was your consequence. Your consequence is now academic. It's an automatic 0. So these mistakes cannot necessarily be fixed later. They've got to be fixed in the moment or there's not going to be a chance to. Robert?
We don't have detention this year.
You do have detention. If you missed homework, I don't know why you're looking at me like that, but you have detention. You have detention if you do not have homework or incomplete homework, so home science, absolutely still. But you will not be doing makeup work during detention. So maybe that was the confusion. James?
You said, what about when you're in class and you spend up to an hour later, you take the work that you already had?
You could, but if you're missing a supply, you're not going to be able to do it in class, in another class, somewhere else. And you're probably not going to be able to do it without, but most of the time in class, you're either going to need me and my presentation, your book, and your teammates. Like you're going to need all of that in order to do the lesson and master it. And so if you're somehow missing some of that, I don't see how you're going to be able to master it for the day. So I think that's not an issue. Charles, I need to move on just to get to the next few and make sure that you're on time to your next class. All right, teamwork, give help, get help. It's very, very simple. That's why it's a short section. Enthusiasm. Read the special note because that's the most important. The teacher recommendation section of high school applications frequently ask me about your level of enthusiasm towards classwork. Math and English, write recommendations for everyone at every school. Some others ask for extra, but math and English you always need. Absolutely. So make sure you're making an enthusiastic impression early in the year to ensure the best recommendations. Like, huge, huge, huge piece of advice. Make a good impression early on, especially in math and reading, just because you know that you're going to need us to write you those recommendations. And we're going to show you some of those, what it can look like if you do a good job of that, and what it can look like if you do a bad job of that on Thursday. Last piece, maturity. I'm about to say some words, and you're going to show me maturity so that I know we can read these books in class. In Monster, Steve has to take poops in front of everyone else in his cell because it's in the open. In To Kill a Mockingbird, they use the N-word. In Romeo and Juliet, they make jokes about penises constantly. Sounds like we can read those books. If you had failed in some way by giggling or being immature, to be able to handle those words, I don't think we could read those books because that's how often that types of content comes up in adult literature. We're reading all adult books this year. There's like Monsters sometimes you find in the young adult section, but all those other books, all found in the adult section of a library or a bookstore. And they're serious. They're about serious topics, and they're about growing up. So you got to handle it with maturity like you just did. Your homework for tonight is very simple. Very simple. Because all you have to do is show your parents these expectations, have them sign, and sign yourself saying that you can meet them. I need one person to pass out exit slips while I pass out homework. Charles, you can pass out exit slips. When you finish your exit slip, you need to clear your desk of everything besides your exit slip, which should be turned over on your desk. When you finish your exit slip, you're going to let me know. You're going to let me know by clearing your desk of everything besides the exit slip and flipping it over on your desk. It's going to go in your composition mode, so I can keep track of it. Tomorrow we're going to set those up. I think it's really intelligent that Vincent's already writing his homework down as an agenda without even having an adult prompt him. He recognizes that if he teaches himself this skill, he won't have to have an adult manage it for him during the school year. When you're finished with your exit slip, and I'll know this because your desk will be cleared of everything besides an exit slip, and your exit slip will be flipped over, I'm going to call your name and have you start our line in the hallway. Marquita's going to start it. Remember, silent, facing forward, one person behind the other, and not on the wall.